so this is a little video to demonstrate an acupressure routine that you'll be learning in this class. The routine is very choreographed. It's done in a specific way, in a specific order. It's not a free-for-all kind of thing. It's done in a very specific way. The general roadmap is that you start always with your client prone and work on the back only. You do not do prone legs. Then you have your client turn supine. You work on the legs. You work on the abdomen, you work on the arms, and then you finish with the face. More specifically, the steps that you take on each of those locations are, first, you rock the body. Second, you do effleurage only, no petrissage, no vibration, no friction, effleurage only. Then you do point holding. I'll talk more about that in a minute, acupoint holding. And in between each point, you do a little bit more effleurage. So rocking, effleurage, point holding, effleurage, etc. The goal is always that you want to be moving qi through the body. In Chinese medicine, the focus is regulating and promoting the flow of qi through the body. I'll talk more about what that is when we get into lecture, but for now, let's just think of it as life energy in the body. And qi that flows freely and at a good rate signifies a healthy body. So that's the goal always. So the first thing you do is rock the body with the client in the prone position. Every body has its own rhythm. It depends on size, shape, relative tightness, relative looseness. Everybody's got their own rhythm. Often when I teach this, I tend to over-demonstrate it. You don't want your client to be rocked so hard that they get seasick. But I do tend to over-demonstrate it just for the purpose of teaching. It's almost like dribbling a basketball in that you want the client's body to have its own rhythm and move back and forth. You don't want to just push the client's body without ever letting go. So you give a little shove and you back off. So the client starts to move freely on their own. And the body that I happen to be working on is my colleague and friend and coworker, Jennifer, who's also a licensed massage therapist, and who also knows this routine, so she's a great one to be my demo. And you notice I'm moving her mid-thoracic spine, and her lumbar spine and hips are moving of their own accord, and that is a good thing. You want to generate that freedom in the body. I can push on the rib cage, and the same thing happens. Lumbar spine is moving. Now I'm up in the upper thoracics, really pushing on her scapula, and again, her whole spine is rocking, sort of almost making little S shapes like a snake, and that is a good thing. So once you get the client's body kind of moving and rocking and shifting of its own, you want to keep it going and be able to switch sides. You want to rock from both sides of the body as equally as possible. It doesn't have to be, you know, an exact 30 seconds on one side and an exact 30 seconds on the other side, but sort of equal. Now there are definitely some clients whose bodies don't move nearly as much as Jen's does, which is, and again, that is a good thing, that movement. So, you know, just whatever the client's body gives you is fine. Another way to do this is from the rib cage. And Jen has a fairly fast rhythm. Some clients, it might be kind of more like this. Their bodies just sort of roll smoothly and slowly. Jen's pretty quick. And I've never done this on Jen, so you're seeing just what I would do, experimenting with any new client. So the rocking phase, you know, about 60 seconds, 90 seconds, something like that. Again, you don't want to rock so hard that you make your client seasick. That is not good. Something else I want to point out, two things I want to point out. One, I don't normally work with a watch on. I'm using that just for the purpose of timing. Two, you'll notice that the table is really high. This is a light, supportive routine. It's not meant to be deep work. It should be done with a light oil, preferably unscented. It's good for clients who have medical frailty. It's good for elderly clients. It doesn't work on specific issues. It just generally supports the health of the body. Let's see, what else? So rocking, oh yeah, I know what I was saying. The table is relatively high. I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I just get a better sideways push on the body when I do the rocking phase. And two, it prevents me from working too deeply. I work fairly deeply in general. I find trigger points. I want to press on them. So keeping the table high prevents prevents me from slipping into that trap. I will lower it a little bit. We have the luxury of electric tables where we work, so that is a nice luxury. So I finished the rocking. When you do the prone rocking, always keep the body covered. 1 for security, 2 for modesty, warmth, all that stuff that you know all about.